The house didn't want him there. Arav could feel it the moment he stepped through the door. The creak of the wood beneath his boots. The way the cold air gripped his neck like a hand. It was a family inheritance. A forgotten mansion in the countryside, passed down after a death no one in the family spoke about. His therapist called it a fresh start, a place to heal, after everything. But the first night he slept there, he heard breathing inside the walls. The second night, he painted her. He didn't remember choosing the colors, or the way the lines curved into a woman's face, pale, beautiful, eyes closed like she was dreaming underwater. He woke with paint on his hands and her image drying on canvas. He named her Zara. By the fifth night, she was real. Arav found her standing in the hallway at 3:12 a.m. She was exactly like the painting, damp black hair, bare feet, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. "Who are you?" he whispered. Her voice was smooth and low. "I live here. This is my house." Zara tilted her head. "No, you're just borrowing it." Then she smiled and walked into the shadows. He didn't sleep that night. The walls whispered, the floorboards wept. Sometimes the paint peeled in shapes that resembled mouths. He kept dreaming of Zara. In each dream she touched his skin and left cold burns. In one dream she kissed his throat and whispered, "You look like the man I buried." On the seventh day Zara visited. She brought wine, books and concern. "You look pale," she said. "You eating?" Arav smiled weakly. "The house, it's been keeping me busy." That night they sat by candlelight drinking. For a moment, the silence between them softened. The space between old lovers, familiar, broken comfort. Zara leaned in. "You should come back. Stay with me." Arav shook his head. "I can't." "Why?" He didn't answer. Because how could he say it? "I think I'm in love with the woman inside the walls." Later, after Zara had gone to bed, he found Zara again standing in the bathtub. Drenched, water running even though no pipes worked. Her dress clung to her body like seaweed. Her eyes glowed. "I've missed you," she said softly. "Not real." She walked toward him. The floor didn't creak beneath her. Zara pressed a finger to his lips. "Do you want to feel something again?" He didn't resist. Her hands were cold as they undressed him, but her mouth was warm like a secret fire buried in winter. Her body moved like smoke. He kissed her hungrily, not out of love, but out of a need to remember he was alive. She whispered things in a language he didn't understand, words that twisted inside him like vines. When it ended, she looked into his eyes and said, "Now you belong to the house." He awoke the next morning, naked and bleeding, scratches across his chest. Sarah was gone. He found a message written on the mirror in fog. "She saw too much. We sent her away." He tried to leave. The front door wouldn't open. The windows showed different skies than the one outside. The house had swallowed him. That night Zara came again. This time she crawled out of the wall. Skin first, then bones, then smile. "You should never have brought someone else here," she whispered. "This house is jealous." Arav trembled. "What are you?" Zara climbed onto his lap, straddling him. Her skin shimmered like candle wax, melting and reforming. "I'm what you wanted. I'm the woman you painted, the woman you dreamed of, and now I'm real." She kissed him again, slower this time. He tasted copper and something else, salt. As he drifted into sleep, the last thing he saw was her whispering into the wall, and the wall whispering back, a descent into obsession, blood, and a love too unnatural to die. Arav didn't know what day it was anymore. Time moved strangely in the house. Clocks stopped. Shadows lengthened even without light. The wallpaper pulsed like skin. Zara never left. Sometimes she spoke softly to him, brushing his hair, kissing his wounds. Other times she stood in the corner for hours watching him with those glowing, unblinking eyes. He tried to burn the painting he'd made of her, the one from the first night, but the flames wouldn't catch. The canvas bled instead of burned. When he stabbed it, Zara screamed. Blood poured from her mouth. "You hurt me," she whispered. "Don't you love me?" Arav sobbed. "I don't know what you are." Zara smiled. "I'm the hunger you fed. I'm the desire you couldn't bury. I'm everything you never said aloud. And now I live here." One night, she brought him a gift, a necklace made of teeth. "They're from the others," she said, "the ones who didn't stay." Arav tried to push her away, but when he touched her, her skin turned warm again, like it had the first time, like she was human. And in his loneliness, that lie was enough. He made love to her again that night. She moaned like a woman and growled like something beneath the earth. Her eyes never closed. She whispered into his mouth as they moved together, words like "mine" and "forever" and "dig deeper." He passed out after. When he woke, Zara was gone, but the walls were wet with blood. And next to the bed, lying motionless, Sarah. Her eyes were open, hollow mouth frozen in shock. He screamed, but when he touched her, her body crumbled into dust and teeth. On the wall behind her, written in what looked like fingernail scratches, were the words, "There is no room for two." Arav ran from room to room, trying to escape, but the house was different now. Rooms he'd never seen stretched for miles. Hallways twisted, doors looped back into each other. Stairs went both up and down endlessly, and in every mirror he saw Zara watching. "You promised," she whispered from behind the glass. "You let me inside. You wanted me." He punched the mirror. Blood sprayed. But even as his hand shattered, her reflection remained unbroken. We are one now. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping. He found old photos in the attic. Other men, in other centuries, posing beside the same house, smiling. On the back of one a message: she waits for a willing soul. Never paint her. The house groaned, louder with each passing hour. Sometimes it sang to him low, humming voices in the walls. Other times it moaned, like something enormous was breathing beneath the floorboard. Zara returned on the 7th night. She wore a veil now, a wedding veil. Her hands were red with wet fresh blood. Will you marry me? She asked gently. Arav shook his head, terrified. She climbed into his lap again, placing her head on his shoulder. You already did, she whispered, the moment you let me in. The moment you chose desire over truth. You fed me. Now I feed the house. The floor beneath them opened. He fell screaming into black water filled with bones and eyes. A ballroom rotting, floating beneath the house. At the center a wedding altar lit by candles that floated like fireflies, and standing at the altar Zara dressed in white, face perfect, hands waiting. Come to me, she whispered. I never wanted this, Arav said, trying to climb out. You did. She replied, you wanted to feel again. You wanted something to hold you. Now I will never let go. Arav's body began to change, flesh peeling, eyes dimming. He screamed, but no sound came out in the reflection on the water. He no longer saw a man, he saw something else. Pale, eyeless, hollow, like all the others before him. And then, Zara held him in her arms and kissed him one last time. Sleep, now my love, she whispered. The house is full and hungry. He sank out. Zara smiled. The walls exhaled. Love rots. Desire consumes. The house remembers everything. There was no more time, no day, no night. Only the pulse of the house, steady and deep, like a monstrous heart beating behind the walls. Arav no longer remembered his last breath or his first scream. He only remembered her. Zara walked the halls in her wedding gown, dragging a bouquet of dried hearts tied with black lace. Her veil was soaked in red. Her voice echoed even when she whispered. She had become more than a woman. She was the bride of the house, and Arav, her eternal husband. In the depths beneath the mansion, beneath rotten roots, the ballroom still floated, lit by corpse candles, lined with mirrors that reflected things that had no shape. Arav sat at the piano. His fingers bled into the keys. Each note called out to something deeper than death. Each note summoned her, but inside, something rebelled. He remembered Syra, her warmth, her laughter, her fear, and her last words, written in fog on the mirror. Get out before she devours what's left of you. Arav rose, for the first time in weeks. He walked through the house without trembling. The walls moaned. Zara followed. Where are you going? She asked sweetly. To the room you never enter, Arav said. Zara stopped. Even the house held its breath. There was one door she never opened at the top of the stairs, sealed with rusted nails, marked with hundreds of tiny HANDPRINTS. It called to Arav. Now he tore away the nails, bleeding from his palms. Zara screamed. Don't open it. But the door opened anyway. Behind it, nothing, a pitch-black space with no floor, no walls, only a mouth, enormous and silent, breathing gently in the dark. The true heart of the house, it whispered to him, not in words but in need. Hunger it wasn't. Zara that controlled the house, that was this thing, this endless, ageless mouth, and Zara was just a bride, offered to it, and now, so was he. Arav turned back. Zara wept. Her eyes bled. I gave you everything, she said. My lips, my soul, my body. You gave me a prison, he replied. I gave you meaning, she spat. You gave me lies. Zara's skin cracked. Her hair coiled like tendrils. She screamed, like a choir of broken throats. If you leave, I will erase you. Arav stepped into the mouth. It swallowed him whole. Inside, he saw everything. The first man who painted her, the woman she used to be, before she drowned in her own longing. The hundreds of men who made love to her and died screaming the moment he kissed her.